P.S. I am going to retitle it right now. Wagon Train Descendant tells all that she can possibly tell in 30 minutes. So Sarah Rousseau is my third great grandmother, and I learned about her from my Uncle Dick Maloney. He and I were working on a family tree project in 2014, and he was like, hey, I got this diary. We'll just see what it's all about. And it turns out it's a really big deal. Sarah Rousseau, her writing is now at the same value as Anne Frank's diary of 1947. However, it's American history. So coming with them on this journey are three other families of note. One belongs to the Hamiltons. But John Jr. and his wife Sarah are on the trip. They have a little bit of a mystery. They have one child with them named little Oscar, who has no beginning and no end. They're also pregnant with their first biological child, and the only record of his existence is in Sarah's diary. Otherwise, he vanishes from all records. I asked a historical society to help me with research and figure out what was going on with the Hamiltons. They sent me a whole big envelope stuffed of papers, and I opened it up, and it was my research that they had found online. I still paid them for the copies. All right, so the Pella company was attacked, as here Nicholas Earp writes. He was sitting down. He was actually hanging out with Dr. Rousseau, sitting on a riverbank, and they were just chit-chatting after all sorts of promises he'd made to be like, we're not going to be a statistic. They're sitting down, and all of a sudden they're ambushed, and he says, Indians, to arms, boys! And the horses are fleeing, stampeding in every direction. Sarah Rousseau is in her wagon. She cannot get out of her chair. She says, bullets are flying in every direction. And it is intense. It's offensive. It's violent. It's powerful. It's unbelievable. Well, in this attack, we also have Wyatt Earp's big debut, his big coming of age moment. Wyatt is given full authority as a man, should his father fall, to take over. So they come to a halt. They stop in Corn Creek Settlement. But one day, an arrow appears in one of their cattle, and Nick Earp loses his ever-loving mind. So he's suspicious, and he makes accusations to the chief, and he's cussing at the chief. This man here, Richard Hatton, who happens to be his old military buddy, he intercedes, and it goes something like this. Hey, chief, I know this guy. He's one of us. He's a Mormon. It's cool. So the chief says, oh, they're Mormons. They're not. So from that point on, the chief sends several of his men to go with them all the way almost to San Bernardino. Can you imagine if Nicholas Earp, a cantankerous man with a hot temper who cusses chiefs out, has to pretend to be a Mormon? He can't smoke, and neither can his wife. He can't drink. He can't cuss. That must have been the most peaceful time of the entire trip, I've got to say.